Tomato OS Beta is finally out for the TrimUI Smart Pro. Let's check it out. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. This is Retro Fun Tech. The TrimUI Smart Pro is a fun little device in the budget category that I recently reviewed. I didn't think I was going to like this device as much as I did when I first got it, but I actually regularly grab for it when I want to play a quick retro game. I'm a big fan of the 5-inch 720p screen. It makes gaming on it really, really nice. If you saw my review or follow this channel, you know that I've mentioned that there is a custom firmware for this device that is in development. That custom firmware is called Tomato OS. It's been brewed up in a cauldron by a bunch of awesome people, including Retro Arena and Tech Toy Tinker. Now, this custom firmware is still in development, but it's in the final stages, so they have released a public beta of it. I installed it on my TrimUI SP, and in this video, I'm going to show off all the cool features of it. Also, speaking of the awesome development team, I added the Patreon to help support these developers in the description below. If you aren't aware, none of these developers for the custom firmware get paid to do this, and it's a lot of hard work, so consider throwing them a donation. Now, I initially was planning on doing a tutorial for this installation, but I decided against it. The reason is that it's a little more complicated than I was expecting, and also it took a very long time. Now, I'm not sure if there was something goofy going on with my internet connection or my computer hated me that day or what was going on, but it did take a little extra time, and because of that, I decided to hold off on my installation guide video for now. Perhaps I will do one when the firmware is completely released and no longer in beta. Now, before we get too far into it, I just needed to throw this out there. Even though this isn't an installation guide, I just wanted to throw this disclaimer out there that this custom firmware is in beta. It is public, but it's not official yet. This video is just to show what the TrimUI Smart Pro looks like and features of the new firmware. Now, knowing that this is in beta and almost done, if you have any issues, please don't blow up the comment section. I mean, you can, but you're going to get better results with the link in the description below because I'm not part of the software development team at all. So you really want to address any issues with the developers. All right, now that we have all that out of the way, let's take a look at the device. Now, some other features that have been added to Tomato OS are custom logo switcher, background music, and there are more game systems available. You can see for the most part that the user interface looks similar, but there are little added bits and pieces in each menu section. There are a ton of added things under the app section. There's also a little handy user guide that gives you some information how to navigate through the lists, info about NetPlay, and even how to upgrade your firmware. Another app is the function key setting. So the weird toggle switch at the bottom now has the ability to be customized to any of the listed settings. Personally, I'm going to keep mine on CPU performance mode so that I can get the most out of the higher systems like Dreamcast, N64, Saturn, and PSP. Then when you want to turn it on, that selected mode, you just toggle the switch on the bottom and it will be turned on. The LED battery app will change the RGB lights on the joystick so that you know about the battery life. When it turns yellow or red, you should charge the device, but if it's fine, it stays green. If you hit the menu button while you're in the app section, you can also edit anything that you want to show or hide on the app screen. So God of War seems a little bit laggy. I don't remember it having issues before. I ended up going through and changing the settings throughout the game, as you can see, but it's needing something. I probably will have to mess around with the settings a little bit more. I even went back to my first impressions video for the TrimUI and looked at the footage, and I think it ran a little bit better there. So, although I think the other PSP games run better on Tomato, so maybe it just needs to be tweaked a little bit when the final version of Tomato OS comes out, because, of course, this is in beta. Now, this is something I absolutely love. Anytime I can play Pico 8 on a device and have native Explore ability, so I don't have to load all the carts on the device, it's amazing. Since the Smart Pro has Wi-Fi capability, we now can connect to Pico 8 online and can access the Explore menu and be able to have hundreds, if not thousands, of cool retro-looking pixel art games that we can download and play. If you're a big Pico 8 fan, let me know in the comments below what some of your favorite carts are, because I'm always looking for different Pico 8 games to play. There are some fun demakes of games, like this one, Marble Merger. Thanks to Russ from Retro Game Core for pointing this game out. I played this for a few hours over the weekend and got lost and had lots of fun. This is still one of my favorite Pico 8 games. I just can't help myself. I have to always play it. Now, I might have found a new favorite game. If you like platformers, you should definitely check this game out, because I ended up playing this for a good, solid 20 minutes. It was fun. And shout out to Crystal from Crystal is Cozy and Stuff for this game recommendation here. This is a super fun puzzle game that I just wasted like an hour of my life on it. So like I said, this custom firmware is still in beta and being developed. Even at the time of this video, they are working on adding Portmaster to the firmware, so you will have the ability to play ports on here. It's really fun to see what the community comes up with for these devices, and I personally am pretty happy with Tomato OS. The TrimUI Smart Pro was a nice device to begin with, but now this custom firmware has unlocked all types of things on it, making this device into an even better budget option for retro gaming. So, what are your thoughts on the new Tomato OS custom firmware for the TrimUI Smart Pro? Do you have the device and now you're planning on updating the firmware? Does the firmware now make this device more enticing? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I posted this on the community page. I just created a Discord server. The link will be below. So come join the retro fun and hang out. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and even share this video with someone who was on the fence about getting this device and needs some retro fun in their life. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome, everyone, and go play some games.